The paradox is when you push against what you're currently going through, you create more of it. What we resist persists. And so often when we're in spaces of confusion, uncertainty, discomfort, frustration, stagnation, wondering when the F we're gonna break through something or create something new, or why nothing's moving on our timeline, our small, limited, egoic human self timeline versus the whole orchestration of the cosmos, we create more of our misery. When we resist it by complaining and self-victimizing and self-loathing and self-frustration and self-criticism, we're literally spiraling out even more deeply. And I feel like the last 2 days have been an initiation to an entirely new level that I can't fully articulate yet. And I know, I just finished up an immersive, beautiful, bountiful, prolific weekend of my We Breathe breathwork facilitator training. This was the in-person portion, and it was so radically deep and profound. So much was unearthed, so much was excavated, so much was learned, and I haven't fully had the time frame to integrate it and rest after, so I know that's part of it, not to mention all of the insane intensity and trauma from the LA fires and the global turmoil. There's a lot going on right now, and I understand that, but regardless, I feel like new timelines have been activated. And so often I think we wonder, or at least I wonder, when you reach a certain level or a certain iteration or your next space of evolution, we can feel like we've collapsed somehow. Yes, we've collapsed time. We've moved into a new timeline, but we can feel almost like, okay, so why do I feel so empty? Why do I feel like I'm starting all over again? Why is this I felt so expansive and so connected to all that is, and now I feel so small and limited and confused? Well, that's indicative that we've hit that new level, that we've built a new vessel, and now it's like we're moving up a team, or we're moving up a caliber, or if you were once at level 1, now you're at level 3, and it takes some learning and some patience and some integration and some exploration and all of that. But ultimately, when we're resistant to where we currently are, we create more of it. And I think the greatest barometer of our success and our highest expression, or most robust, our loving expression, is when we're able to hold ourselves in these places of contraction and confusion and exhaustion and self-criticism in love, acceptance, compassion, and empathy. I think that's ultimately the test or the lesson, that we're able to meet these moments with love and radical self-acceptance and forgiveness and curiosity and being the objective observer versus so immersed in the experience, saying I'm a totally bad person and then perpetuating the cycle, getting stuck in looping realities and being in that whole muck. And I think we've all been there. But it's such a juxtaposition, right? Part of us is I'm ready to get the F out of here, but by forcing an exit, we stay more stuck. Wow, that feels very particularly resonant. Maybe that needs to be said again. By wanting to make an exit or get out of the current discomfort, we actually create more of it. So with something like tapping, when we bring love and acceptance and empathy and compassion, we're able to alchemize it, we're able to transmute it, we're able to neutralize it and unlock the gifts of that experience. And what a gift it could be to say, wow, I'm feeling really stuck and confused and hurt. What are 3 or 4 gifts of gratitude I can extract from this experience, right? We're not bypassing, we're not saying don't feel what you're feeling, but it's here for a reason, and we can always pull lessons, gems, gifts, new octaves of self-discovery and self-realization and actualization from those moments. So it makes me think of when you're in rehearsal and it's just not flowing. It's not working. You're stuck. You're just like, this is not the right way. I don't know the right way, but I'm like, this is not vibing. This is not resonating. This feels clunky. This feels yucky. This feels stagnant. I feel disconnected. And then it's perfectly normal to go home and be like, what's wrong with me? What's happening? Why can't I do this? And then it's through that process, it's through those questions, it's through those deeper questions of self and our own capacities, and clearing away those doubts, fears, and limitations, again, with a tool like tapping, gets to greatly accelerate that process. We come back into the rehearsal room, we come back into the laboratory and say, let me try this, let me try that. Maybe this will work, maybe this won't work. But somehow with our lives, we don't have that playfulness, we don't have that levity, we don't have that curiosity. We just don't have that lightness to say, okay, I'm a human learning how this whole human experience thing works. No one ever freaking told me, and what they told me was most likely a program to keep me stuck in a lower vibrational reality so I could be controlled. But in the rehearsal room, we're like, oh, yes. And then it's like those moments, that's how you unlock those sparks of life, those gems of truth, those moments of like pure resonant human experience, emotion, evocation. And that's what we go to see in the theater. That's what we go to see in film. Like even now with AI, like everyone is like CGI this, superhero movies, and there's a time and place for that. But ultimately, we just want the story. We want to see those moments when a human being overcame the impossible, whether external or internal. And so often our society focuses on the external versus the internal. But it's the internal that always makes the external. I want to see more stories like this. The film that's coming to mind is Coda. That was like one of my most favorite films in recent years. It like brought me to tears. Even thinking about it makes me tear up, because it's like, that is the power of storytelling. That is the power of cinema. That is the power of human artistry. Like, so wherever you are, can you bring more love, compassion, empathy, forgiveness to those places that hurt, to this discomfort you want to escape from? Can you just sit in that icky, sticky edginess of not knowing, of building certainty amidst uncertainty, certainty beyond logic? I'm learning that in Kabbalah right now. Certainty beyond logic. Can we connect to, dance on, anchor in the vibration of certainty beyond logic? Because that's how we enter the realm of miracles. And knowing that our redemption, our breakthrough, our new iteration can come in a second. It can happen all in a second. And we don't have to do anything to own it, to like work harder, push more, do all these things. That we are worthy exactly as we are in this moment. And it's owning that. It's owning that magic. It's owning that power. It's owning those gifts. And it's owning those moments of confusion. It's owning those moments of, there's a lot of sounds happening right now, whether things want to be heard or not heard. My goodness, maybe that needed to hit, the place and resonance for someone. But I want you to know that every moment you have access to that internal guidance system, you have access to all that is, you can reconnect, become one with the qualities, embodiments, characteristics of the creator of the universe, and catalyze, magnetize, realize a whole new experience for yourself. But where we get stuck is that so often these programs, so often these kind of lower vibrational states, I don't like saying that because I don't like shaming it. There's always something to teach us, but lower vibrational states, meaning if we're constantly stuck in these cycles of doubt, of uncertainty, of confusion, of self-beration, of self-denial, of self-betrayal, of self-sabotage, then that's like in our DNA. That's like programmed very, very deep within us. And until we actually allow that purge to happen from our cellular structure, we can never think greater than that program. It's automatic. It's embedded in our subconscious, in our autonomic nervous system. And to break free from that and reprogram, we have to do so at that level. And again, what I love about tapping is it's mind, body, spirit, energy, emotion, physical body, all parts of self come in for healing all at once. And it is a deep and profound purging, and it's a deep and profound liberation, and it's a deep and profound acceleration of this moment to catalyze and ripple out all these new parallel destinies that you're ready to step into, and loving yourself throughout the whole process. Maybe that's the message I need to give to myself today. Love myself through it all. Maybe that's the most radical act we can do and be and share with one another. And that it's loving ourselves on the journey. Let's love ourselves on the journey more, okay? Can we please just love ourselves more? I've been criticizing myself for over 35 years. It hasn't gotten me anywhere. I would say the only beneficial form of self-criticism I've ever experienced was in the Russian theater school, because that's like their particular unique brand of love. But even that went to the threshold of detriment. It got a little too close to worthiness, etc., etc. But we have these experiences, like, I believe that our soul chose these experiences before time to awaken our tikkun, our soul's correction, what we came here to heal, transform, elevate, expand our vessel to receive the light that's already been given by the Creator. That's another conversation for another time. But I just wanted to say that wherever you are, love yourself more, accept yourself more, forgive yourself more. And when you open that, when you move back into those spaces of power where you once were a victim, then you get to say, hey, universe, actually, this might be more smooth. This might be more fun. This might be more abundant, right? When we tap back into the qualities of the Creator or the cosmos or the universe, that's when you're back in flow. And that's when you begin to magnetize what you want to you, when you are the living embodiment of that mind, body, nervous system. I just did some Reiki on myself and I feel so much better. I was really been having an exhausting day, and that just came through as well. I have my distance Reiki healing sessions 50% off right now to support you in the aftermath of the LA fires, but also just the global turmoil on the planet. And it's such a blessing to have all these tools and modalities, and they're insanely supportive, and I recommend them fully, and I love sharing them with my clients. But ultimately, you have the power to tap back into this right now in this moment. Tap on your chest, remind yourself of your power, take some deep belly breaths with an audible sigh, choose to go for a walk or put on a song or cry it out or scream into a pillow or call someone and say, wow, I'd really, appreciate some help with reframing this situation I'm currently going through. Or ask yourself the question, how can I hold myself in more love and compassion in my life? That is the question to unlock miracles, my dear friend. Source, Creator, God, universe doesn't want you to work harder. They, she, whatever, him, they want us to open our vessels, our auric fields, our energy fields to receive what's already been given. It's just this human experience is so funny sometimes. It's so funny because we know we have limitless power and potential inside of us, and then somehow we get stuck in our small egoic brains, and then we're like, oh my God, there's something wrong with me. But ultimately, the ego just wants to be validated. It wants to be comforted. It wants to feel safe and secure and seen. So when we can do that, when we can parent our inner child, when we can bring love to the places that hurt and transform that pain back into our power, we're like on a whole new level. And it can happen in moments. I know I'm an emotional manifester, and I know, like, even this video, can you imagine what it living inside my being, like, with these, like, crazy emotions all day? Like, seriously, tapping has saved my life in the sense that, like, I have found my rhythm. I was once diagnosed as bipolar. I was like, I'm not bipolar. I'm just extremely emotional. I feel it all. But now I have these tools and methods and modalities to transmute it, from art to tapping to soon to be breath work to Reiki to share it with humanity, unearth this wisdom and transmute it. So you get to not only catalyze your own journey, but, learn from my bumps, my detours, my mistakes, my breakthroughs, things that did work, things that didn't work, things that just like totally accelerated the whole process, while learning to love myself more deeply than I once ever thought possible. And again, I just think that's the goal. That's the goal. So if this video if this video resonated with you in any way, give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, subscribe. We're building the ensemble. We are leaders, co-creators, trailblazers of the new artistic paradigm. Let's go. And I just uploaded the Clear Anxiety and Fear tap from the root. Clear it from the root so you can feel safe and calm and stable in your body right now, regardless of what's going on outside of you. You can reconnect with your peace and power at any moment. This is a very deep dive tap, my dear friends. This isn't like This isn't like I'm going to do this before an event or something. You need to make time for this tap. I've linked it below. It's a gift from my heart to yours. There's other ways to work with me if you're ready to get started today. And let me know what hit home for you in the comments. How are you going to love yourself more deeply, more robustly, more compassionately, more playfully, more ecstatically? Let's meet in the comments and share. You have no idea who you inspire by stepping into your own power, owning your voice, sharing your truth, and sharing what you're committing yourself to. Your next level, your next iteration, your next caliber of magic. It's the magic gift, baby. Mwah. See you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.